Fred Schebesta is the CEO of Finder.com. He is one of Australia's most respected and successful entrepreneurs, authors, and was recently awarded Australian National Finalist for Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Fred Schebesta.
All right, we're throwing it down. All right, I'm just going to have a little quick start. How many people here own Bitcoin right now? All right. What about Ethereum? No? Okay, cool. Interesting. So cryptocurrency has been obviously a major thing I'm going to talk about. And I'm going to talk about like how social media is obviously a massive driver of that. Massive driver. So there might be some terminology, guys, that I'm going to talk about, like what is a Bitcoin, what is Ethereum. These are all sort of coins and things like that. So I'm going to try and talk through that. But afterwards, after this entire talk, I will offer to do a 101 in cryptocurrency. So do come up and say hello, and I can tell you all about it. So just so you give you guys a bit of background, Finder is a global comparison service. You can go onto finder.com right now and check it out. And we publish into about 10 different countries, 2 different languages right now. We started off in Sydney, Australia, and now we're publishing in the US, UK, Hong Kong, Singapore, and obviously a whole lot of other countries. And what I'm going to talk about is this case study, right, with cryptocurrency. So I'm just going to share with you exactly what we did, and you can take and steal all my ideas and go and use them. But they may not work for you, but they worked for us. So go ahead and have a go. So obviously we're publishing in lots of countries. Now the one thing about cryptocurrency is it doesn't turn off. It's 24/7. It's non-stop. It's always going, always going. And the difference this time is cryptocurrency is going to be like the internet. Remember when the internet started and domain names were really big? You'd buy like sports.com and that was a big deal. Or, you know, people who own like, I shouldn't say some of them, but, you know, generic words that with .com on the end. That's what it's like in cryptocurrency right now. This is going to be one of the biggest revolutions that you will see throughout some of your lifetimes. And we're right in the early stages. We're like buying domain names or buying hosting. It's exactly where we are right now. And so what I'm trying to show you this is happening all around the world. You remember the internet, that all started really primarily, all the big companies, they started in Silicon Valley. In cryptocurrency, the difference is they're popping up all over the world this time. All over the world. So it's going to move faster. It's going to be in more places. It's going to be incredible. So we launched cryptocurrency on Finder. And we started writing about Bitcoin and all those kind of things, and the price went like this, and so did our traffic. And then obviously it's gone down a bit, and obviously our traffic has gone down a bit as well. But it still kept going. Cryptocurrency is not going anywhere. This is going to keep going. Now, what I want to talk about is Finder publishes about 1,500 articles a month. 1,500 pieces of content. That's a, you know, bit of content. And we write about all sorts of things. So we write about 100 different categories. So in this category, what we found, was that the adoption and the reading and the fervor which people wanted to get the information is 10 times stronger. Because the connection between the price and the news in cryptocurrency is a direct correlation. The sentiment of how people feel about the currency, how strong they think it's going to perform, how much adoption it's going to have, is directly affected by the content that's distributed, right? That's really important. So the next thing is where does this community gather, right? Where are they? Now I want to talk about these different platforms and how the crypto community actually approaches them. So Reddit is obviously a major channel because the cryptocurrency space started off really with some small-time players, and you know it was a bit of a sort of I guess a niche business. And it grew massively grew from this little incubation. And Reddit has continued to be a great channel for it. An amazing place that people come and they talk. And the difference this time is that most people are going to read a Reddit post, then they're going to read a mainstream media post. Right? So your CNNs and your CNBCs haven't quite gotten there. They'll have to go back and they want to read the Reddit post because the Reddit post is actually going to look at the community of people that are investing. It's going to talk about the actual developers behind it. It's going to do the detailed analysis that most journalists don't have the time for. Because this stuff moves so fast, so fast. Telegram is a massive, 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 massive channel for crypto communities. So when a new coin is launching, it's called an ICO. Like an IPO, like an initial public offering. This is an initial coin offering. And a lot of people value their coin by how many Telegram subscribers there are. So if you think about that, if you can drive lots of Telegram subscribers and gain interest and sentiment about your coin, you're going to perform better. So you can see there's direct correlation between the social media impact that you have and the value of the coin. So for once, I think, and this is obviously a big challenge, is attribution in social media is difficult. Like, it's really hard. Sometimes you can't tell. You post an Instagram post, you don't have a link, you can't tell how much impact you've had on sales. In cryptocurrency, you could probably make a much stronger connection between Telegram subscribers and the coin price. And I do want to say this. I think the biggest trend for anyone who's out there right now in trying to get into social media, or you obviously adding new services, I would get into perfecting and understanding how to grow and build Telegram groups. That is going to be one of the biggest trends coming up in 2018. It's already massive. And if anyone does know how to do this, do come up and see me, because I want to have a chat with you. I have a lot of people who are contacting me about new coins, and they would love to find great people who are really good at that. That is going to be a massive channel. Now, the reason why it's working is because it's very public. It's very open. Lots of people can join these groups. You can just participate. And they're big groups of people. One of the recent ICOs that launched had 100,000 people in the group, one of the strongest communities of an ICO. And literally, everyone said the coin's going to be worth a lot of money because the Telegram group is really big. Simple as that. Let's talk about the next platform. So you've got Discord. Discord is almost like Slack to some extent, but it's kind of a private group, but it's slightly public as well. It's a little more public than Slack, if that makes sense. And for some reason, with Discord, the crypto community has taken massively to it. I don't know why exactly why that is and why not Slack. I think Slack's viewed as more of a business channel, whereas Discord is really taking off. It's another one I'd strongly recommend you have a look at. Strongly encourage. Now, in a lot of countries, I think Twitter has sort of been, dying to some extent. In the cryptocurrency community, Twitter is massive. It is something which drives the value. It drives the prices. It actually impacts, again, directly the valuation of a coin. And it moves so quick. So you can get things tweeted and retweeted, and they'll just move around very quickly. Instagram, I guess, is not really part of the crypto community unless you're doing memes. People who are crying because the Bitcoin price went down, or pictures of Lamborghinis or moons or things like that. There are things like that, but they're not as big. Because the fervor right now, what you're talking about, is the strength of the news piece and the strength that affects the coin's price. That's the place you want to be. You want to find that latest news. So I think Facebook, again, is not as strong in the crypto community. LinkedIn, again, is a bit more about the business side of it. YouTube is massive. So in YouTube, they have a different approach, which is really fascinating, is that people watch people trade. They watch people make money, like real time. Like, imagine watching someone make money. It's kind of cool. And a lot of people follow those people. They follow those people because they want to copy the trades. They want to copy them and make the same trades that they do and make money again. And all of these combine together to make probably one of the fastest moving, directly correlated social to financial markets, I think, that currently exists. And I find it absolutely fascinating. So we launched Cryptocurrency Finder, Crypto Finder, across all the channels. So here's an example. So I'll just go through some of the pieces. This is just a piece I did on a piece of news where we actually launched a hackathon, a Crypto Finder hackathon. And you can see that there. We'll tweet out to specific people. You'll write about certain coins or make predictions. And then the really good one is you'll interview founders, right? Founders of coins. And interviews are great, right? Interviews are awesome for your businesses. And obviously all your clients as well. If you can interview someone really interesting that's got something important to say for your customer, someone's going to watch that. But if they're just like, talking on about generics, it's not that interesting, right? This is the actual founder. So this is how early cryptocurrency is. That is the founder of the actual business, like the CEO. That'd be like going to like Bill Gates and getting him on TV. It's just not going to happen, right? But right now in this space, you can do those things. That's why it's so early. It's so amazing. We launched a YouTube channel, so Crypto Finder. And it's really interesting the kind of topics that people are interested in and which they are not. In general, obviously, they're most interested, so this one here in particular, the price of Bitcoin being $100,000. That'd be pretty amazing. It's 10 times its current value. So people wanted to find out what are the things that affect the price in the future, right? Direct correlation between social and sentiment and prices. That's fascinating, right? We launched a podcast as well. So a podcast, so HODL in cryptocurrency means hold on for dear life. Because the price goes up and down, so you got to hold on as hard as you can and not sell them, your coins. So you'll see this come out. We actually had a failed experiment where, well, I guess it wasn't failed. It was a good experiment where we launched a money podcast, but it didn't quite get the traction that we needed. There was a lot of people watching it and listening to it. We were writing about and obviously doing the talks on personal finance, but we've decided to pivot, right, and move into cryptocurrency where it's just stronger signals. You know when you put a piece of content out and it just doesn't work? It just fails, like it doesn't get like the likes, the comments. That's a time to pivot. That's a time to move, do something, change course, change your strategy. And that's what we've had to do here. So really important questions are what we write about at Finder. So that's sort of, I guess, very much our content strategy approach. So people want to know, for example, how to buy a certain coin or how to sell a certain coin. Or they might want to know, what is this coin? What does it do? And what we tend to do with our content strategy is we write about the problems people are experiencing. The times when you go, oh, I'll just go and Google that. That problem with your business, the problem with your product, whatever it is, what are the main problems your customers are experiencing? Unpack those and write articles to solve them. Write the best articles to explain exactly how to solve that problem. And that's what we do all day with Finder. So one of the biggest things in our space that we found was this predictions. So people want to know, where is the price of Bitcoin going? Is it going up? Is it going down? Should I sell? Should I buy more? Am I going to miss out? Huge amounts of interest in this piece. And we publish this every single month. So it's one of our approaches is we find something of extreme interest and we continuously, every single month, publish an update to it. And it works really well. We did this in Australia as well, where we publish a piece every month on the central bank's interest rate. So every month the central bank comes out with something, and we publish a prediction as to where it's going to go. So we took our existing strategy, so something that's working, you've got a certain strategy, and we went and pivoted it into a new space for us and tried it. And that worked really, really well. And obviously there's a lot of success that we've had from this. This has been a major, major growth area all around the world for Finder. It has been probably the fastest growing niche we've ever experienced. And I think that's because of the nature of cryptocurrency. It's so new, and there's so many questions. And our business model just naturally sort of really blends into it very nicely, which is beautiful, right? It is high risk. So I want to talk about that, is how did we actually get the cadence to go and do this? Because you might think, oh, maybe Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies are just a scam, or they're a Ponzi scheme, or whatever it may be. You know, or the governments will shut them all down, or they're only for drug trades, or whatever it may be. The thing about it is, we took the actual view that instead of all those things, and I don't agree with any of those things. I don't think they're actually, none of those things are true. The actual fact is that what we believe is that cryptocurrency could potentially take over currency as you know it today. So if you look at countries like Venezuela, you look at countries like Vietnam, where constantly your money is losing value every single year. Why is that? Why does your money go down in value? Well, the reason is because the governments print more money. They print more money. And constantly print more money, and everyone seems to be okay with it. So in 2009, what happened was this guy who founded Bitcoin, and no one knows who he is, or he or she, who wrote the code, wrote this piece of code and said, for once in our time, the people are going to own their money. So this piece of code that runs Bitcoin, it's been running for 9 years now. 9 years. It's gone up and down, and it's still going to keep going. It's fundamentally going to run a decentralized currency. So if you want to store a value, you want to store something like gold, you want to buy gold, Bitcoin is like gold. It's something where you can hold your money for once, where the government does not print the money that you potentially might actually never have any value at all. It might just be inflated away. And that's the view that we took. We said, well, let's take a hedge. So let's think potentially that fiat currency, the money that you have in your wallet, it may change over time. It potentially might not be worth very much. And cryptocurrency might actually be the future. So Finder took that view, which is a very controversial view, but it's enabled us internally. And it took a lot of convincing internally inside the business, because there's 200 people in Finder. It's a big company. And sometimes, when you have an idea and you need to try and convince everyone of this amazing idea, and it's really, really hard, let me assure you, convincing people about cryptocurrency is not easy. Even I'm sure lots of people here are unconvinced about cryptocurrency right now, which is totally understandable, and you should be. But we took that risk. And that risk has enabled us to be, I guess, at the forefront of cryptocurrency. And that's something that we've done obviously very well from and had that success. I think some of the keys to actually convincing people of this is if you step through the actual technology behind it, which is blockchain. And blockchain's not going anywhere. Blockchain's going to be one of the most incredible technologies that will, again, change everything that you know right now. Change everything you know about how funds are transferred, how money is stored, how people pay for things, all these kind of things. That is going to change. And you're going to see that in your lifetime, which is awesome. We're living in the future. So here's some examples of success. So once we publish these predictions, people want to know about this. They want to know about the price of Bitcoin. You can see our surveys quoted in all these places. It build our real profile. It's kind of cool. This is just obviously there's a lot more. I could go through it in more detail. You can check it out online. Obviously, it went all around the world, right? So this is the first time Finder really published something, and it's literally covered the entire space. I don't know if anyone's into sort of SEO and all those kind of things. Obviously, RLDs, so root linking domains, is very important to move your search engine rankings up. So getting 27 RLDs is pretty good, and it helped us obviously improve our search engine rankings. Cool. I just want to finish there, guys, because I know we've got an important panel to keep going. But I wanted to encourage you guys, again, if you want to talk about cryptocurrency and have a one-on-one, I will be here and we'll be able to talk to you about it. And if anyone is really, really keen on and really good at Telegram groups, we'd love to talk to them. But I hope everyone has a great conference and happy to keep talking about more things. Thanks very much, guys.